The following program is furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content. Now, from the fifth floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. How we doing? Welcome to your Sunday, the 19th of June. Happy Father's Day out there. All you dads, hope you're having a great day. You're going to have a great day out there. You know, we rarely think about you dads. It's all about the moms. So hopefully get a little something today. So hopefully you're having a good one. Actually, Richard and I were talking before the show started, and he made a great point. He's like, it's like, this is the day that dads have one less day to do all their chores on the weekend. And that's a great way to put it. I like it. Hey, folks, you know what? I just got back from vacation and went down to Sydney, Australia, and had an absolute blast on the other side of the world, about as far as you could go, I figure. And but did you know, I didn't know this, you have to have a visa to go to Australia. And I never would have thought you needed a visa to go to Australia. I figured it's just like Canada. It's part of the monarchy. You know, it's an ally. You know, it's not like I'm going to, I don't know, Kazakhstan or somewhere, you know. So I got, you know, we get to the airport, and, you know, asking us for a papers, and our papers were not in order. And so, you know, we didn't get thrown in the gulag, though, but I was able to go online, get our visas, you know, with a company out of New York. Within about 5 minutes, it went electronically to the passport number, so it all worked out. But I'm telling you, had a great time down there. They were doing the Trooping of the Colors for the Queen, her birthday, and so they had this amazing multi-week program down there with they're called Vivid. And so sundown, they lit up the entire harbor area, they lit up the opera house, and just magnificent colors, magnificent designs on all of the buildings, you know, down and around the harbor. Is just beautiful. And you know, honestly, just like, you know, during Dick Clark's you know, rockin' New Year's Eve, and he does the countdown to the ball, and then they show fireworks at all the international locations, and they show the fireworks in Sydney Harbor and how beautiful it is, and they show the Opera House lit up. It's a spectacle to see for sure, and I think, you know, everybody should try to get down there and see it. It's way at the end of the world down there, but everybody should see it. And that thing was, you know, it was built in the 50s. Oh, it was? Yeah, 54, I think. And it's, you know, standing the test of time, and it really, you know, looks amazing. And it's a sight to see. In the harbor, it really is just beautiful down there. And so I tell you, you know, the folks down there, you know, super nice as you'd imagine, and super fit people. There's joggers everywhere. You know, we went through the Botanic Gardens, and we were about to get run over a gazillion times by all these runners. And but
you weren't running with them?
No, we were walking. But you know what? We walked just about everywhere. We were just like the locals, you know. We were just walking everywhere, and until our legs about fell off.
That's one of the things that I love about visiting new places is you get out of your car and you start walking everywhere. You get a little bit more exercise, but you really see so much more when you're out walking around a town. And
yeah, you do. I mean, we didn't even rent a car. You know, sometimes we rent a car, sometimes we don't. But we stayed out in Coogee Bay, which is a little bit outside of Sydney, down by the beach, and you know, just went into town. We actually got bus passes, and you know, did the bus thing, and just got real local with it, and had a blast. They got Burger King down there, and it's you know what it's called though? It's called Hungry Jack's down there. So here's a few things. I'll just mention a few things about Australia. Why not? We'll just not talk about real estate for a few minutes. Did you know they have compulsory voting down there?
What?
Compulsory voting. You are required by law to vote. Yep, and unless it's one of the local elections, you actually have to vote. And they started that way back in the early 1900s. Generally, they had about 90% voting, and then it went down to about 70%. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to make it mandatory to vote. So there you go. There's something interesting down there. Hey, they're not, you know, adverse to having sex scandals down there as well in politics. I was reading the local paper at breakfast the one morning, and one of the in the Northern Territory there, one of the provincial officials had a sex scandal, just like our wiener up in the Northeast, sending pictures of stuff you shouldn't send pictures of. He did the same thing, and I guess he didn't learn from Wiener's lesson up here in the States, and so he got ousted. So,
is there a country that hasn't had a sex scandal with politics?
I guess not. They're in the middle of their political season down there as well, and so they had just as much crazy stuff going on down there as we do up here. That's for sure. 12th largest economy, the 5th highest income of all countries, though. So everybody does pretty well down there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Everybody's doing all right. The exchange rate was pretty darn good. The U.S. dollar gave me $1.38 of local Australian dinero. So the exchange rate was pretty good on this trip. So that was all right. And did you know? Now there's a lot of kangaroos down there, of course. But did you know they have a lot of camels, and they actually export camels to Saudi Arabia?
Seriously?
They absolutely do.
I definitely wouldn't have guessed that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But just a few things I learned while I was down there. And but of course I come back up here and we've got the Orlando shooting, and also a lot going on in Orlando. We had when I left, it was throwing babies into the gorilla pit, and then we had the tragedies with the baby and the alligator in Orlando as well. And so folks, you gotta keep an eye on those kiddos, I tell you.
The alligator thing, I couldn't even watch the news.
I know. I
think anyone with a small kid or anyone that really cares, it was just so tough.
Yeah.
To even hear about it. I just always put myself in the parents' shoes.
Yep.
And oh my goodness, I got teary just thinking about it.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I just we gotta keep an eye on them kiddos. NBA Finals, Game 7's tonight. Who you got, Richard? You going LeBron or Curry?
I'm one of those people that has flip-flopped on LeBron. Of course, I didn't really appreciate how he treated the Mavericks, but because Mavericks fan through and through, but I'd rather see Cleveland win, not necessarily for LeBron, but the city of Cleveland.
Okay.
More than the Splash Brothers, because it's just
Splash
a different
Brothers.
demeanor.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna boo you at first when you said that, but then since you said it was for the city of Cleveland, I will absolutely accept that and go with that. But I'll have to root against you. I'm gonna have to go for Golden State. My hatred for LeBron is too deep, far, and wide. And maybe it's not his fault. Maybe it's just all the people that compared him to Jordan and all of these types of things. He is nowhere near the competitor that Jordan ever was, in my opinion. He's not near the player Jordan was, in my opinion, ever. And I don't even want to have him in the same conversation as Jordan. Jordan was the preeminent athlete, in all ways, in my opinion, and was just an absolute leader. He got on the floor, and that was his floor, from one end of the court to the other end of the court. He played defense. He was not a prima donna. I mean, this guy was on both sides of the floor, playing D, driving his team, put the team on his back, scoring 63 points, on a regular basis. And the thing is like, he took it to the hole so much. The wear and tear he put on his body throughout his career was just ridiculous. So that's just why I don't like LeBron, is because of that comparison right there.
Well, I mean, if you would have got me a year or two ago, I would have been on your side with it. I mean, because after the decision, it was just, I can't stand the guy. It's like you were saying, I thought he was a prima donna.
Yeah.
But kind of come around and anyway.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, great player, but to me, putting him against Jordan is just, you can't. I don't think you can do that. And I don't know, when somebody could put somebody next to Jordan in my eyes. But it's not like Jordan was a nice guy off the court or anything, you know. I mean, he was not a nice guy and still is not a nice guy off the court. So it's not like it's that off-court demeanor that was, you know, like, oh, he's like Magic Johnson. He's just approachable, super nice, great interviews, cares about people, you know, signing autographs. You know, Jordan's walking away from kids. You know, he's like pushing them away, like, get out of my way, you know. But anyway, well, folks, hey, you know what? It's supposed to be Inside Real Estate here, and we're going to take a short break and come on back.
The SPCA of Texas is more than just adoptions of dogs, cats, and horses. Did you know that the group has an animal cruelty investigations unit that rescues more than 2,000 cruelly treated pets each year? Or that it has 3 spay, neuter, and wellness clinics that provide low-cost, high-quality services to more than 20,000 pets annually? We even have kid camps, host birthday parties, and have your signature events, including the Strut Your Mutt race to end animal cruelty and the Furball Gala. Come get to know the SPCA of Texas at spca.org.
This is Shaquille O'Neal
and the Shaquettes,
reminding you that anytime is a good time.
Good time.
For the cooling, drying, fresh scent of Gold Bond powder spray. Like after the gym.
Or a crowded elevator ride.
Or golf.
Or working with farm animals.
Or a hard day's work.
Like sportscasting.
You said it, ladies. Stay cool with Gold Bond powder spray.
Stay cool with Gold Bond.
With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin Team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today. For housing lender, NMLS ID number 211-731-6730, Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we're back. It's Inside Real Estate, Mike Kruizinga. Website InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. And you know what? We are going to get to some real estate and home improvement talk. Yes, that's what the show is mostly about. But, you know, we talk about sports, entertainment, politics, you know, all kinds of things. So just a wild and crazy time. And hope you have fun with us out there and hope you make it part of your regular Sunday morning. Hey, folks, we're talking to Richard Tonica of the Goosehead Insurance Agency. Phone number where you can reach Richard, 817-286-2002. 817-286-2002. And by the way, if you have questions for Richard about anything insurance, life, auto, home, toys, or otherwise, you can give us a shout, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. And, you know, you can talk to him right here live on the air. Hey, Richard, how's it going?
Not bad. How are you doing today?
Good. And obviously we were talking to you a little bit earlier in the show as well as we started ranting about Jordan and LeBron. But, you know, let's get into some insurance talk. And, you know, we always learn new things when we're talking insurance. You know, I love the Goosehead model. And, you know, one thing I think that we wanted to talk about was that, you know, I've seen, you know, here in the DFW area, and especially here in Texas, we've got so many veterans. And veterans, you know, get hooked on using USAA. And, you know, USAA is great. You know, I mean, I am a USAA member, actually through my dad. You know, my dad was with them. My dad was a veteran, Vietnam veteran. So, but I don't, you know, use them for everything. And, you know, when it comes to insurance, you know, for your home, I've never seen them be very competitive with homeowners policies whatsoever. And so a lot of time veterans just get stuck with using USAA and for everything. And, you know, I get the relationship, particularly when you're abroad and the banking and all those types of things, and you just kind of stay with them. But I think for those USAA members in particular out there, you know, they really need to think about, you know, giving you a call and talking to you, particularly about homeowners insurance, you know, and everything.
Yes, I agree. One of the things that I would tell anyone that has had loyalty to a company like USAA or anyone for a very long time is you're probably not getting the best rates that you can.
Right.
Not only are you not getting the best rates, you may not even have the best policy anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And going through everything, you're never going to know that if your loyalty keeps you from shopping it around.
Right.
And you don't have to switch or anything else, but I think everyone should be informed on what's available to them and what kind of rates they can get with another company. USA is a fine company.
Absolutely.
Have nothing against them.
Yeah, absolutely. I've done lots of business with them in relocation, done lots of business with them. And like I said, I'm a member, so, great company, no doubt. But I think, and I've just seen it so much, because look, I see it with buyers who buy a house, and I see what they pay for their full year upfront owner's policy for, a home. And I just see it too many times. USAA honestly is, the bottom line is this is just a fact. I mean, they're just not competitive, against other companies, in particular, Goosehead. And, people should shop around. And you're right, loyalty can only go so far.
Yes.
Do you want to overpay for loyalty? I mean, especially when it's, let's talk about deductibles, 2% most of the time.
Exactly. And especially around here. I mean, if you have a 2% deductible on your roof, you might as well not even really put in a claim, because the amount of money that you're going to have to come out of pocket with is going to just be astronomical. It's almost the entire, it's depending on how much your dwelling is valued at. It may be the whole payment for the roof is going to come out of your pocket rather than the insurance paying anything. So,
right.
Not just that. I mean, you're talking about the deductible, and then you're also talking about your payments every single year that you're paying, that you don't want to put in a claim because your rate's going to go up from an already astronomical rate that you're paying now. And what we do at Goosehead is we'll shop you every single year if you would like. Normally I tell people is the first renewal, I'm probably not going to shop you. I am going to see if your rate went up, and if it went up by more than 3 to 5%, then yes, I'm going to start shopping you that first year. If it doesn't go up that much, then I'm going to wait till the second year. Now, if it goes up another 3 to 5%, then yes, now we're really shopping you every single year to make sure that you are getting the best policy at the best rate. And I always say policy first, because like I've said before, it doesn't matter how great your rate is if you're not getting a great policy also. And every company that we deal with is an A-rated company. And so I don't have a loyalty to any particular carrier like USA or any of those. I have a loyalty to my customers to make sure that they have the best rates, and going through this, making sure that I'm finding the policy that fits their needs and their budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I find that it's just it honestly it is just blind loyalty, and I've talked to some clients, have you thought about shopping, and it's just that blind loyalty. It's like, I've been with them, they took care of me, when I was in the military. Why? Because just all your banking was easily taken care of. Insurance is a totally different thing.
Yes.
But people get used to things and not making a switch. But you'd be surprised how much money they are overspending. And, for example, my dad's going to sell his place up in McKinney. And I was kind of going over some of his, numbers of things, at his place. And I looked at his insurance policy. He's with State Farm, and he's been with State Farm, for forever, and I was like, Dad, you're overpaying on your homeowner's insurance for about at least $1,000 a year. He was paying like $2,800 a year, and just, a nice home, but it's not that type of policy. Didn't need to be that policy. Like,
okay.
Dad, you're overpaying by about $1,000 a year. You realize that? That's almost $100 a month on the mortgage, right? And, State Farms, they're just, they'll take care of because, because what? The parents were with State Farm, because of the commercials, folks, do not have blind loyalty to an insurance provider. First of all, the agent probably doesn't even know your name, get something out of this relationship, folks. Don't just keep throwing money every month at your insurance, no matter what it is, whether it's home, auto, toys, or otherwise. and not getting anything out of it. Why overpay?
Exactly. And you talk about your insurance company taking care of you. I've had 7 different companies or 7 different customers that have had 7 different types of claims, had no problem with any of them. Everything has gone absolutely as smooth as possible. And I've had multiple of my customers come back and say they thought it was going to be so much harder to get everything approved and everything else. And it was simply seamless going through, and from the time that they had the accident or the incident to getting everything repaired. And that's what I'm here for, is to make sure that that is a seamless process. But also when you're coming through and you're looking at the different carriers and what they cover and all, and how they handle claims and going through that stuff, that's part of what having that relationship with me is all about, is I'm walking you through that. If you don't know what you're doing, or even if you do, I'll take you through the steps to make sure that you're getting taken care of like you want to be taken care of, in the manner you want to be taken care of, as quickly as possible, and to make sure that everything goes off as seamless as possible.
Yeah, and I mean, I would encourage, some of the listeners out there that, if you're heading into retirement or in retirement, look, we all know, 08 crash, we took a hit in our portfolios. Those of you in retirement, you may not have rebounded yet. Those of you in retirement, some of you out there, may have had to go back to work. You may have had to go back and take part-time jobs in retirement. And you know what? Every penny counts. And I would encourage you, if you've just been blindly paying that insurance bill, no matter whether it's the auto insurance. And by the way, speaking to you folks out there in retirement or semi-retirement, if you haven't adjusted your auto policy because you no longer work and you're pretty much staying at home, or maybe you're just working a small part-time job nearby, guess what? Your auto policy should be adjusted for that. And there's a pretty big savings in that right there. But in addition to that, you should be talking to Richard. And, guess what, folks? I mean, I'm talking about experience here just from my dad. I mean, my dad could have been saving $100 a month on his homeowner's insurance. Now, he probably could be saving more on his auto as well, and my dad just hadn't looked at it. He just kept paying it. And like a lot of us do, but as you get into retirement, hey, if somebody said, hey, we can get you an extra $1,200, extra $1,500 a year, and then maybe add that to what your savings in auto could be, maybe save another $500, $600 and probably get better policies. Hey, you could end up with an extra $2,000 a year in retirement, especially if you're faced with maybe having to go back to work a little bit.
And if you're scared of the change, which a lot of people are, I mean, let's face it, most people don't want to change.
Yeah.
The process of switching from one insurance company to another is not that difficult. It really isn't. It's making 2 calls. I take care of canceling everything for my customers, and so that it is absolutely as seamless as possible. You come in, you get your quotes. If I've got a better policy at a better rate and providing you a better value, fantastic. If I'm not, I'll tell you that. I'm pretty upfront, and there's really no pressure whatsoever. And if you decide to move forward, it really is as simple as sign here, make 2 calls, everything's done.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty rare where you're not going to be able to put people in a better position. So, folks, it's kind of a no-brainer. You ought to give Richard a call. It's Richard Tonica, Goosehead Insurance Agency. He's right here in the Metroplex, in the heart of the Metroplex in Arlington. But guess what? He covers all of Texas. So if you're one of our outlying areas, because our listenership goes far and wide, all the way down to Austin, out east, west, north, give him a call, 817-286-2002. His number, 817-286-2002. If you're interested in better policies and saving money, now, of course, not everybody's interested in saving money and better policies, but if that's something that interests you, I would highly recommend giving Richard a call.
And if you want to spend more, I'm here for that too.
That's right. We can give you an overinflated policy that you really don't need if that's, you want to continue spending more money than you need to. Hey, folks, it's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Hey, come on back in a few.
You appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? Harry's will give you their starter set, complete with a razor, 3 of their world-famous blades, and shaving cream for just $15. And shipping is always free. We'll also give you $5 off your first order. So go to harrys.com right now and enter code 5566 at checkout. Code 5566.
The Richard Tonica Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonica Insurance Agency Network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonica Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002. With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin Team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today. For housing lender, NMLS ID number 211731, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Time to talk to our good friend Randy Addington over at Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs. The website is hydrojetwalkintubs.com and the phone number 855-980-8827. And, of course, you're going to get to talk to Randy or his wife Sheila. And, it's great when you actually can call on a company and you actually talk to the owners that care so much about you. So I love that about these guys. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit today about the price point differences in Randy's product and then some competitors out there. And honestly, Randy, the competitors are just so overpriced. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. They mark it up because they find people will keep paying them those ridiculous prices. So until somebody comes along and offers a better product at a better price, they're going to keep gouging people. Yeah,
well, and folks, I hate it when a huge demographic that purchases this product is obviously folks that are creeping on up in age in life, but and those folks are a demographic that often get taken advantage of. But at the same time, they sometimes go by that old adage, and this is kind of used against them, where they say, you get what you pay for. And in this day and age, that's not necessarily true with this particular product because, competitors out there found a way to sort of take advantage of that mindset, to take advantage of people. And I don't like it. It makes me mad.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, and that's one of the reasons we decided to have a company of our own. Is we knew there had to be a better way, and you don't have to take advantage of people just because you can. At some point in time, people need to develop a conscience. We tell people all the time, you don't always get what you pay for, but you always pay for what you get. Just because you pay too much for something doesn't mean you're getting quality.
Right.
But you're typically not going to go into a Volkswagen dealership and drive out in a Cadillac, pardon the pun.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about these price points and kind of some of these things that the competitors use to justify their huge prices. And these tubs can get up to $30,000-$35,000.
Yeah.
And we're talking about indoor tubs that go in your master bath or in a bathroom in your house. We're not talking about the big heavy duty fancy party tubs out in your backyard, which is a different story. They can almost be the size of a swimming pool. Let's talk about how they do that and how they take advantage of folks.
Well, the first thing they do is they've got most of them got these big brick and mortar buildings with tons of people working, answering phones, layers of management. You got a president and a CEO, and you've got a regional manager and a district manager and a sales manager, and all these, and they all want a piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. They all want some type of an override, and then you've got commissioned salespeople that they bring in and spend 2 days training them how to go out and spend 3 hours in your home convincing you to turn loose of $15,000-$20,000. Yeah. And they don't have any skin in the game. Those salespeople run the wheels off their cars and go out, and when they don't make the sale, they call in behind them and drop the price a little bit and then cut the commission out completely. So you have all these layers, and then you've got TV advertising. I mean, there's not a day that goes by if you'll sit in front of the TV that you won't see one of these competitors with a TV commercial or pick up some type of home and garden magazine, and they're in there, offering you this much off. Then they have these buy today gimmicks that, hey, if you buy it today, I'll give it to you for this. All they're doing is marking it up a certain amount so that they can drop it. Yeah. They've done their research, and they have found that the average senior citizen, they're not inclined to make decisions today. That's not how they were raised, and that's not their generation of how they do things. But they've done the research, and they found that a $2,500 discount is a significant amount to give a discount to get somebody to make a decision today. Wow. And so they get in your head. Yep, absolutely. And do all these things. So by the time you take the tubs that they've already got a warehouse full of them, one size fits all, cookie cutter style deal. They've all got the bells and whistles, and so they can get the tub to you really, really quick because it's already made. Mm-hmm. And they'll find a way to fit it in the space. Right. So by the time that they do all of that, and their material, their labor, their sales commissions, their advertising costs, they call that acquisition cost. It costs them $1,500 on average just to get an appointment with a customer. That's why they're so high pressure when they come out, because they've got $1,500 invested just to get there. Well, what happens if they only get 2 out of 10? Think of so that's all
the ones
packed
they still got to cover.
That's all packed into the price. Where we're different is we do not have a big brick and mortar building. We got a manufacturing plant, but we don't have a bunch of salespeople and office staff. My wife and I are Hydrojet walk-in tubs. And when you deal with us, you're dealing with the cheap cook and bottle washer. Right. And so we come to your home. We don't have a tub already made sitting in a warehouse somewhere. We measure your exact space. We measure the width of the hallway. Are we going to have to take out door jambs and things like that? What size tub is going to fit? What are your needs? Do you need a hydrotherapy tub, or do you just need a soaker tub? We all 99% of the time it's the hydrotherapy tub, but we go and check your hot water heater. Is it sufficient? Will it be able to perform where you're not taking a cool bath, but you're taking a hot bath? Right. We check your electrical panel to make sure that you've got a knockout, so we're not wiring it into a GFI breaker in the house. We do all these things that I would want you to do if you were coming to my grandparents' house. Right. That's the way we try to treat you. And because we don't have them in the warehouse already made, and we let you pick your bells and whistles, we don't mark up the shipping. We don't mark up the installation. And by the way, you can use your own installer if you want. You don't have to use ours. And we don't mark up the accessories. So there is no incentive at all for me to try to get you something that you don't want or simply don't need. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're different. And in most cases, we're 30-40% less than the competition. Yeah. If you buy one of our tubs and have your own installer, I spoke to a man last week. He has the capability of installing his own tub, but he's got mobility issues. Well, my competition, they're not going to give you that option. But I'll give him that option. It's a couple $1,000s to put one of these tubs in. That's just the going rate.
Yeah. Well, and folks, the big point here is that there's and Randy's given us so many points of emphasis as far as differentiation between him and the competitors. First of all, you're going to talk to him and Sheila, the owners of the company. They're actually going to come out and measure what you need and decide what you need, talking to you. Folks, the competitors are going to come out and they're going to say, okay, here's what we've got, and it's a square peg, and we're going to stick it in the round hole, and it's just going to work. Well, and who cares if it works for you or it doesn't, or who knows how it's going to screw up your arrangements there at your home, the bathroom, or anything else. Randy's going to go in, he's going to measure everything. One of his staff's going to measure everything. He's going to take care of it and do it the right way. If you've been listening to our segments, he talks about doing things the right way. And folks, one of those high-pressure salesmen that's just trying to get the sale and get the commission, that's all they're caring about. And all their layers of overhead jack up that price so high that it's ridiculous. So in this case, with this product, folks, spending that kind of money, there's no justification for it, and there's really no reason to go by that old adage, what you have to pay more, to get what you pay for. You can pay a lower fee and get way better quality with Randy's company by far.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And our typical customer is the one who has had one of our competitors out, and they're in sticker shock over the price they've seen. They need a tub, and they're going to get a tub, but they're not going to spend that $15,000 or $16,000. And somehow they accidentally stumble across us on the website, Googling or something like that, and they get a hold of us. That is my prototypical customer, someone who has a need, and they've already seen what the competition does. And then we come out and we actually bring a tub with us, and you can see it, feel it, touch it, sit in it. We don't show you a brochure and a video. We bring a tub for you to look at.
Yeah, you've got a great mobile unit, the truck and the trailer, and you roll it out there, and it looks great, by the way. And yeah, you can look at it and see it. Made in the USA. You got that lowest step in the business, and still no high pressure sales, and looking to do what's right for you folks out there. And so these competitors, anyway, the price point, look $16,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 on some of these. Where do you end up usually coming in at as compared to the rest of the folks out there?
I have one. If you get our hydrotherapy tub, which is the one I highly recommend, it's the one that we can get a doctor's prescription written for you, go and do your doctor and make it tax deductible. That tub with chromotherapy is the only thing that I really recommend. It's about $7,600 uninstalled. So if we install it, it's going to be about $9,600. If you can get someone to install it or you can do it yourself, we take that exact amount we're going to pay our factory-trained certified installers. We just take that amount off.
Right.
And we even have customers that pay our installers direct. So they know exactly what that installer's getting paid.
Right. They don't think you're pulling a fast one on them. And, folks, the competitors aren't going to do that. They're not going to allow you to install your own by any stretch. And it's, your product, you're buying it. You should have the choice of how you install it. That's Randy's thinking, that you should just have the option. And you should do things the right way. And that's just the way he does it. He does things the right way. So, less than $10,000, maybe even around that $7,500 price point, folks, you're going to be paying double that for any of the competitors. You're not going to get better service. You're not going to get a better product. Oh my God, folks, if you're thinking about this type of thing or know somebody that is in need of something like this, if you're worried about, a parent, an aunt, that's everybody's going to fall eventually at some point in the bathroom. It's a matter of time. It's a great product, especially for the hydrotherapy. And if you can have a product that not only has the hydrotherapy, but you can actually just walk into it. It's a little 1-inch step. You walk into it, and it feels great. It's great on the bones, great on the muscles, and the safety is right there. It's a win-win all around. You really ought to think about it, folks. By the way, folks, we've been talking to Randy Addington, owner of Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs. The website, hydrojetwalkintubs.com, and the phone number is 855-980-8827. You'll ask for Randy directly. Let him know you heard us on the radio. Folks, another great segment here with Randy. Inside Real Estate Radio. We'll be back in a few. Folks, it's Mike the Realtor here from Inside Real Estate, and if you're not listing your property with me, bottom line is you're leaving money on the table. There are over 15,000 agents here in the DFW area, most of whom are part-time and do a few deals a year. Do you want to trust them to sell your home? I think not. Call Mike the Realtor, the radio realty expert from Inside Real Estate on 570 AM KLIF. Promise you will get to me direct. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Don't sell your home with just anyone. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com and connect with Mike the Realtor.
Living in the DFW area, expansive clay soil and extreme weather conditions play havoc on homes' foundation. But thankfully, you can turn to Permapeer Foundation Repair of Texas, who has successfully repaired over 20,000 properties and counting in the DFW area. With the most trusted, tried and true foundation repair methods, trust the professional staff of Permapeer Foundation Repair to take care of your property, and most repairs are backed by a lifetime transferable warranty. Mention Inside Real Estate Radio when calling Permapeer at 214-637-1444 or when booking online at permapeer.com for your Inside Real Estate Radio discount.
Far from the shores of home, two African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black war correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War, it weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com. And tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga, website InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Hey, guess what? It's time to talk some mortgage and real estate with our good friend Terry Wagner over at Supreme Lending Rockwall. And guess what? We're taking your calls, so if you want to call in, chat with us, ask questions about mortgage, refinance, anything related, 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. And you know what? We'll throw in a pair of Rangers tickets for them if they want to give us a call.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Terry.
Hey, good morning.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Happy Father's Day to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fathers don't get the same kind of credit as you moms do.
No,
you guys take all the credit.
Well, we do all the work.
That's true. That is true. That is perfectly said.
That was kind of mean to say on Father's Day, wasn't it?
Yeah, you were rubbing it.
I
in.
know. I'm sorry.
Come on, we
sorry, Dads.
We got to give dads their due now.
Yeah, they're good.
They do good too.
Yeah, they do.
You know, when they're not, messing it up.
That's right.
But hey, so let's so we hadn't talked a little bit about mortgage in a while, so let's talk.
All right. Well, I was trying to find something that I could talk about that would kind of tie into Father's Day a little bit. And dads like construction and building stuff and all that. So I thought we'd talk about renovation loans.
They used to.
Yeah. Well,
no, you're right. Some still do.
The good part about this loan is you just have to have the idea of what you want, and then you get someone else to do it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, because actually with this loan, you can't do it yourself anyway, dads. You have to have a contractor.
But you'll have fun with the process.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
And I've had, I don't know what was up, but over the last few weeks, I've had so many people calling in about the renovation loans. So I thought, we'll talk about that again.
Yeah,
I know we've talked about it before. So you can do it. You can do a renovation loan on conventional or FHA. Conventional is probably going to allow you a little bit more leeway in what you are doing, what you're adding, what you're updating. You can do it on a purchase or on a refinance. So if you own a home and you just want to make it your home, you've just moved in or something along those lines, and you've been there for a year or two, and you want to add that pool or you want to add that workshop or any of those things, we can do a renovation loan on it.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. And a lot of people don't think about it, I think, on a refinance.
Right.
I think a lot of people think about it as a purchase.
Right.
And getting it all done in advance. But a lot of times, I think they fail to remember that.
Right.
And so there's so many things that you can do, and especially now when, the prices have gone up here in DFW, and you're not necessarily paying for the property, you're paying for maybe the location.
Right.
Or just the fact that it's simply supply and demand math. And so you're maybe not getting exactly what you want. And so now maybe time to refinance,
right,
and make it the house you really wanted in advance.
Right. Absolutely. Because there is a lot that you can add to the house. You can't do a cash out refinance. that's not what this is going to be.
Right.
It's going to go directly to the contractors that are doing the construction on the house.
Sure.
There are things that can be financed in. So, like on a refinance, you may not be out of pocket any money. You can finance a maximum of 50% of the value of the house. So if the value is $200,000, you can finance and add to $100,000, making that property now worth $300,000 or somewhere around that neighborhood. So there's a lot that you can add. That you can fix up the house the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
So eligible properties, it's got to be. It doesn't have to be your owner occupied home. It can be your investment property. It can be your second home. It can be a condominium. I'm doing one right now that's on a condominium. So definitely, a lot of people. There's a lot of condos out there that really haven't been very well taken care of. So you get you a good deal on a condo. We either do it as a purchase or you get in there, maybe you're there for a year or so and it's just not what you wanted it to be. So let's do a rehab loan on it. Let's make it what you wanted it to be.
Yeah, that's a great point because there are a lot of condos in horrible shape out there. And, as far as the inventory being low out there, that might be a little bit of a sweet spot.
Right.
For people out there that they don't think about that.
Right. Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, so things that you can do to your home. If there are structural problems, a lot of people think that if it's foundation, you can't add it into this loan. Both the conventional and the FHA. The conventional loan, you can do it across the board. If there's foundation, we can add it to it. On an FHA loan, there are two types of rehab FHA loans. There's a full and there's a streamline. Not all lenders do the full. That's the one that's going to allow for the foundation repair. And of course, we at Supreme Lending do both.
Yay.
Yay, Supreme.
Hey, Supreme, we can do it.
Yeah, yay.
You can do it.
Okay, so if there's foundation issues, we can work on that. We can install or repair or recondition a septic system, any type of plumbing issue that you may have with the house. So instead of coming out of pocket, instead of doing a cash out refinance, because remember this, guys, once you do a cash out refinance on your home, you're always a cash out. So any time in the future that you want to refinance your home, it's going to have to be as a cash out, whether you take cash out or not.
Right.
So if you do a rehab loan to fix these things that are going on with your house, it's not a cash out. Okay. We can repair the roof, the gutters, the downspouts. We can change just the look of it. Let's say Dad has always wanted an outdoor kitchen, big old grill, the whole setup. We can do that with a conventional rehab loan. Okay,
fantastic.
I'd go for that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would.
Yeah.
What about a fence? You need a new fence?
Sure.
You can add that all in.
There you go.
And what I personally want to add, so maybe for Mother's Day next year, I want a swimming pool. So you can add a swimming pool on the conventional loan.
See how quickly Father's Day
so
ended?
It just becomes,
it's already
right
Mother's
there.
Day next year.
So you're going to be cooking. You're going to have your husband cooking by the pool.
That's right. While I do nothing.
Well, I see this. This is just quite the plan here. Yes, I see it. I see it now.
I'm always planning.
Always thinking. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one thing that's changed since the last time we talked, Mike, about this particular loan is minimum credit score 620. We used to have a 660. So on this particular loan type, on the conventional 620.
Okay.
Okay. Maximum debt to income ratio 50%. Of course, you have to have a contractor. We talked about that just briefly not too long ago. But you cannot do the work yourself. In the state of Texas, we don't have to have a licensed contractor, but we do have to have a general contractor. So if you're doing roof, foundation, and adding a swimming pool, one general contractor has to be over all of it. Okay.
Right.
And the process is such that your contractor has to be approved to do the work, and we'll go through that approval process simultaneously when we're getting the borrower's loan approval. So we put them through strenuous background checks. We check references. They have to have insurance. They have to be in the business for a long time. We want to make sure that you don't have someone that's coming in that's going to do shoddy work, isn't going to show up, isn't going to finish.
Right.
Okay.
And that's one of the nice things about if you are going to do a rehab loan,
right,
working with Supreme, because you do have your naughty and nice list.
That's right. We
of
do.
Contractors.
We have a long list of contractors that if you pick them, we refuse to do it.
Yeah,
so,
because
we'll send you somewhere to get a different contractor. And that's a good thing for you.
That's a great
because what
thing.
that means is that they've messed someone else's loan up throughout the process at one point or another.
Yeah.
So
everybody needs to do their own homework, but the great thing is that you guys have done a lot of that as well already.
Right. So just real quick, I know we're going to run out of time here in a little bit, but so the process is such that we close on your loan, then the work starts. So the contractor will do a section of work, then they will request a draw. We send out for an inspection. They get their money. Then they'll do the next section. And a consultant will tell us, we'll have a consultant that will go out and will tell us how many draws need to be set up for your work that needs to be done. If it's something simple, it may just be that one draw at the end of the process. Mm-hmm. But if it's, like we were talking about, roof, foundation, and a swimming pool, that may be 3 different draws. Mm-hmm. So when one section of that work is done, that's when the draw will be requested. We'll send out for an inspection, and then they'll get paid. Okay? So your contractor's not going to get paid up front.
Right.
So the contractor has to be on board for this as well. So when you're talking to contractors about and getting bids, be sure and tell them that you're doing either a 203K or a home style renovation loan so that they'll know they're not going to get paid up front.
Yeah, they'll get paid in segments.
That's right. Right.
So, and so that means you're going to have to pick a contractor that is sizable enough to carry the financial load of purchasing the materials and covering his labor, enough, so that he can, until he gets that first draw.
Right.
And so it basically just means you're going to get probably a larger company that's that's done it and that's going to do a good job.
Right.
Not that the smaller companies can't. It's just, this is probably not for them.
Right. Okay, so just real quick to wrap up, excuse me, on your primary residency, you just have to have 5% equity in your home. So if you're doing a refinance, we have to make sure that loan to value is 95% or less. If it's your second home, you have to have 10% equity in the home. And if it's an investment property, you have to have the 20% equity. Okay. 620 credit score across the board on the conventional loan, and I want to say the same on the FHA loan as well. You have to have the 620 credit score. So that's pretty good because on the conventional rehab loan, last time we talked about it, about a year ago or so, I guess it was, you had to have a 660. So they've dropped that credit score requirement a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And, we all know that we get our best credit score right before we buy, and then once we buy, it tanks. We buy everything.
Yes.
And we
get it all done.
We get everything on credit, and our credit is destroyed.
That's right.
We could never buy again until they're ready to buy again. Then we got to redo their credit.
Right. Which Supreme Lending, and we're good at helping with that as well.
Extremely good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, this is a great product. So, folks, if you've been thinking about doing things to the house out there, dads, if it's been on your list, the family's put things on your list to get things done, and it's starting to add up to too much, or the house is just aging.
Right.
Look, every really 15, 20 years, you kind of need to revamp the house.
Mm-hmm.
There's just things that need to be done. So, maybe you do use this product to do that.
Right. Instead of just doing what the bare necessities yourself.
Right. Just out of pocket.
Just out of pocket, scrimping and saving. Do a refinance, do a rehab loan, and get it all done. Get it like you want it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get that, if you've thought about a pool, maybe you've thought about that really nice outdoor deck, fire pit out back with the huge kitchen that you're talking about.
Workshop.
Yeah. Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Shed. Barn.
Yeah.
Just have to get it done by Mother's Day.
That's right.
That's right. All kinds of all kinds of things that you can do. Folks, hey, we've been talking to Terry Wagner over at Supreme Lending. Phone number over there, we can reach Terry, by the way, 866-607-5667, 866-607-5667, or you can catch her at RockyMartin.com, Rocky with an I-E, RockyMartin.com. Give Terry a call for all of your mortgage needs. And, hey, folks, guess what? We'll be back here next Sunday, as always, 8 to 9. Hey, have a great Father's Day, folks, out there. Inside Real Estate, Mike Kruizinga. See you next week. Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true, and as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today. With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs.
The preceding program was furnished by Real Estate Talk and is responsible for its content.
News and information 570 AM.
96.3 FM HD2. KLIF Dallas. KSCS FM HD2 Fort Worth. KLIF.com.
A Cumulus station.